And we talk about that in order to get the attention and interest of your ideal client, you need to talk about a problem they have and don't want, and or about a result they want and don't have. We call that marketing helium, because when you have that depth of insight into your ideal client and then you infuse it into your tactical activities, the things you do to get in front of them, you're going to find that they have a hard time ignoring you. They are drawn towards you and they're interested in whatever it is you're talking about. So a client of mine asked me a good question on a recent call that we had in one of our Plenty of Clients programs. He asked the question, he said, well, how does that fit with what Chet Holmes talks about? Chet Holmes talks about how at any given time, there are really only about 3% of the market interested in buying whatever it is you sell right now. And behind them, there's another 7%. Those 7%, they're open to the idea. Not quite looking, but they're open to the idea. And behind them are 30% who, they're not necessarily interested. And behind them are people who think they're not interested, 30%, and the last 30%, they know they're not interested. So, each of these are really like, each of them sees that they have a different problem. The problem they have and don't want, result they want and don't have, is likely to be very different. How do you talk to, who should you talk to, and so on? And that's a really good question. In general, you can really avoid a lot of this kind of question because it's really the wrong question by really answering three basic questions that we recommend, right? Question number one is, what are the problems you help solve? What are the results that you enable? Question number two, who has those problems, who wants those results? And question number three, what are the qualities and characteristics of your ideal client? Sometimes your ideal client is in the 3%, sometimes in the 7%, sometimes even in the 30%. Don't worry about it, don't fuss about it. Answer those questions imperfectly and then keep moving forward. Very often the answer takes care of itself. And in the case of the client I mentioned to you, I pointed out how the simple, compelling message that we developed together really kind of talk to people at the 3%, the 7%, and the 30%, and yet it got the attention and interest of everybody at each level. So if you're also looking for some help creating a consistent flow of ideal clients, you can email me, dovegordon@dovegordon.net, or message me somewhere around the video. And whatever stage you're at, whatever you're up to, the most important thing, I've come to understand it again and again, more and more deeply, it's really true, live each day. You should have the courage and the clarity and the confidence to live each day and make the most of every day, especially those of us who are in a position where we're really living, our expertise is leading others to a better place. So live each day. Bye.